Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality. Just wanted to go over with you something I thought was pretty interesting. Everybody likes top whatever lists, so I figured might as well go over something that I think everybody has a bit of an investment in, which is the MCU. So I did find this article on Bounding into Comics. It's linked below, saying all 30 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies ranked from worst to best. And I'm not going to spend this entire time going over all 30 because, well, we'd be here for a very long time. And plus, I haven't seen all of the movies, so I really couldn't be a good grader for that. But what I think might be interesting is just going through the top five. And maybe even stretching that back a little bit, maybe the top 10, just to kind of see what, I don't want to say the consensus is, but just to see if they would agree with me necessarily on what I thought the top five were. Now, I have read this article already, so I know what their top five is, and actually 4 of their top 5 are the same as mine, and one other one is something that I would put right outside the top 5, though I think there's certainly a case for it being in the top 5. So let's go ahead and go through that. But just in the interest of full disclosure, like I said, I haven't seen all the MCU films. I've seen, except in the Infinity Saga phase, so up through Endgame, there's only one movie that I haven't seen. And then in Phase 4, there's only one that I have seen, and that would be No Way Home. So I just wanted to go ahead and at least give where I stand on that. So I'm going to scroll down here to their top 5 and go from there. We'll kind of see what they say here, because I don't remember what their top 5 was off the top of my head. So right before that, because I'm now at the number 5 spot, just wanted to say what I thought my top 5 were. So off the top of my head, I thought it was, and this is not necessarily in any order, though. My number 1 pick is what I think number 1 actually is, so I'll leave that one for last. So the other 4 of the top 5, I'd probably go with Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Avengers movie, and one that I'm totally completely blanking out. Oh yeah, Captain America: Civil War. And then I'd say the number 1 MCU film, I think almost hands down, is Winter Soldier. And I think I've seen a lot of other people echo that as well, which is good to know. It's not only what I think is the best one, but it's probably my favorite out of all of them, because I just think it works on so many different levels. And it's kind of like what a Captain America movie should be. So let's go to the Bounding into Comics list here. So their top 5, is starting with number 5 is Spider-Man No Way Home. So there's our disagreement right there and it's a minor disagreement. So they're starting it with No Way Home. I have no problem with it being in the top 5. I'm not going to complain about that. I'd probably have it just outside of the top 5 right now. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that, though. I think it's an excellent movie. I think everybody should watch it if you're just a fan of good old superhero movies and you like Spider-Man. Absolutely go ahead and watch the movie. It's a good time. Number 4 on their list, scrolling down here, is Captain America: Civil War. And I like how the very first sentence of their little blurb about it, they call it Avengers 2.5, which is kind of what I called it when it came out, too, because it basically is an Avengers movie, just disguised as a Captain America movie. But, again, really enjoyable. And, when you get the whole gang together in terms of superheroes, this is the kind of movie you want to see, is something like Civil War. And I would recommend reading the comic, because obviously there's differences between the comic and the movie, but the comic is excellent as well. So if you have a chance to read that, I definitely would. And it was written by Mark Millar, who, if the name doesn't sound familiar, he's the guy who created Kick-Ass, Kingsman, Jupiter's Legacy, that's on Netflix, a whole bunch of other things. You may not know his name, but you've probably been made aware of at least some of the properties that he's created. But again, he's a great writer. Highly recommend his stuff in general, but go ahead and give that a shot. So let's scroll down to number 3 that they have. Oops, I skipped right past it. It's Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, which totally agree with that as well. Just a fun, enjoyable movie. Obviously got the James Gunn humor in it as well. Good time with that one. Thought it was an excellent movie when it came out. And in fact, it was just on TV. So that's what gave me the idea just to kind of go through this. I'm like, might as well do this, get away from, the normal political videos. So here you go. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 is number 3 on their list. Number 2 on their list is pretty much the one that started it off, or I should say jump-started the entire MCU, like it says in the article, is Iron Man. And just an excellent movie all around. Even though you can say like The Incredible Hulk, the one with Edward Norton, was really the first MCU movie, Iron Man is the one that really just got the whole thing rolling. So, again, haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. It's an excellent movie. Robert Downey Jr. is a national treasure, so go ahead and watch that. The second and third Iron Man's not as good, but, it's still Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, which should be a selling point for anybody. So, there you go. And, of course, we come down to number 1, which they agree with me on this one, is Captain America Winter Soldier. And even if you're not into superhero movies, if you're into like the good old-fashioned political thrillers like from the 70s or something like an All the President's Men, or a movie like that, but just with superheroes in it, Winter Soldier is definitely that kind of a movie. It's got, it works as a thriller, it works as an action movie. It's got, dashes of the Marvel humor that's not overdone like it is now. Not everybody speaking Whedon speak sort of thing. So just wanted to, say like, yeah, I think Captain America Winter Soldier is the most enjoyable movie. It's pretty much bang, bang, bang from opening to closing. It just keeps moving. There's not a boring second in it. Go ahead and watch that, you'll have a good time with it. But I did want to take a step back really briefly just to go over some of the movies that they had just outside of the top 5. So the other movie that you heard me mention at the very beginning about what my top 5 was that they don't have in their top 5 was the first Avengers movie, which they actually have on the article as their number 6. So, okay, fine. So like basically like we'd have our 5 and 6s, switched around in the order. So that's totally fine. It's not a big deal. The other movies that I think have certainly a good case to be in the top 5 MCU movies, like Bounding into Comics has as their number 7 is Infinity War, and even the original Captain America movie they have as number 8, which I think is actually a very underrated film. But I don't have a problem with it being there. And besides that, there was one other movie that I was thinking of that might actually have a chance at... it was Spider-Man Homecoming was the only other one that I thought maybe people wanted in the top 5, which that was a movie that I really enjoyed as well. So there's the list. Just something stupid fun to have for today. There you go. Enjoy it. Like, share, subscribe. What do you guys think? What are your top 5 Marvel movies? And let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. Thanks.